Hello, everybody. We're back. We we had a little discussion beforehand, but that's for next week. But we're back to the Reruns Rewind, and we have a quote unquote double eviction to get through. So let's start. I am your lovely host, Shanks. Zoran Mamdani made Donald Trump his bitch in the White House this week. Let's go.
Woo!
You can call me that. It's okay. They've called me
Speak on it.
worse.
Speak on it.
You just call me a fashion. It's
Um,
fine. It's easier than just saying
it's fine.
explaining.
I'm Sydney. Might fail out of law school. Who knows? Who knows, guys? And if I don't, then hire me in 2 years. But if I do, then maybe don't
Still
hire
hire
me.
her.
Just
Still
hire
has
her
Yeah.
the
anyways.
capacity.
I'm Graham. I don't have my regular voice today, so it'll probably be more pleasing to the ear. However,
Don't ever talk down on yourself again.
I laughed so loudly with this fucked up voice right before Shinx hit record, and I think I actually scared Sydney in a way that I've never seen someone strike fear into her. So that was fun to witness. I just needed the specs and the viewers and listeners to know that. And Stream 911, I guess.
Well,
I get
it's on winter hiatus.
it's on winter hiatus, but
Circle back
You
in
can still
January,
stream the
There's
February.
previous
time for you to catch
episodes.
up, is what he's
there's
saying.
time for you to catch
Exactly.
up. Yeah, for sure. Now's the time.
And with that lovely introduction, thank you. I am Alex. I am currently enjoying All's Fair a little too much. Like I started joke watching it, and now I'm actually like kind of into it. It's
Hmm.
fucked
Hmm.
up. Like Ryan Murphy, you need to be studied. I don't understand the grip this man has. But yeah, Big Brother.
Well, yes.
Big brother.
The fuck
Sorry,
was
I don't know
that? Are
why
you
I brought
Italian? What the fuck is
I brought out a little Italian accent. I could have done the big brother, which I feel like I do a pretty good impression of him.
previously on Big Brother
Big brother.
Rewind?
Big Brother.
Dun,
You
dun, 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 dun,
know,
dun,
just
dun, 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 dun.
I did think
So it's
about
like
doing that for this. So I was like, that's a lot of work, and I don't want to do that. Maybe next
Us
time.
getting like a soundboard.
I thought about
Hey,
it, but I was like, you know
It would
what?
absolutely include like the janky song because you're
and it would
obsessed with
also
that robot.
include,
100%.
hey, would you be mad if I
I
killed
killed you.
you?
Yes.
Seriously.
seriously, would
Would
you
you
be
get
mad
mad if
if
I
I
killed you?
killed you? It just, it's like the perfect clip because it's Julie saying it, which is even funnier. And she just says it so deadpan. Like she gives it no
She's trying to
inflection.
get on 60 Minutes. That's when she was like, I don't want to do this job anymore.
True. Oh my God. I forgot about her 60 Minutes campaign.
Oh my god.
But
Queen.
speaking of campaign, Big Brother
Oh.
Rewind. So, yeah, we have our first 2 weeks of the jury. It's technically like a week and a half because we sped shit up. But yeah, we have sent home
Barely.
Ramses and, as Christmas calls him, Gay Matt to the first and second member of our jury.
Mhm, mhm.
He came
And
out.
they were both unanimous jury votes, but they were not boring weeks, especially not the Ramses boot. So to kick things off, we have a lovely competition that Sydney cooked up. It gave us the birth of Bird Oh No in a prior season. And now we have
Oh yeah.
this year Sketchy Creatures, which gave us the Cookie Monster. If you want to take it away,
Yes.
Sydney.
It was also Chewbacca at the same time.
Well,
Yes,
yes.
it was great. I think every time we've done this comp, people have liked it. I think we the hosts have fun doing it because it's essentially the permutation this season was like it's Halloween, but like all the vampires are just like gone. So it's like the classic movie monsters are roaming the streets. And for some reason we made like handwritten wanted posters that we posted around town because it's like 2009 or whatever the fuck. So it was Shanks, me, Graham, Alex, Swan, Luke, and then like final drawing and all of us
I'm very
drew
proud of that
one.
final drawing. They tried to dim my shine.
We didn't try
Okay.
to dim your shine.
Um,
We just didn't think that the house guests were smart enough for it because
or I
they
thought
don't
they
read
would
half
fight
the
us. And
survey.
honestly, I don't want to be fought no more. Like I don't got no more fight in me. Like but anyway. So it was seven drawings total. And they essentially would get like the first drawing or like the first command would be like a half finished drawing. So like no color, like just like a sketch or like an outline. and they could try to guess the monster at that point. And if they couldn't, they could use the second command, which is like the full drawing. So if there's color, it would have color, it would have all the details drawn in. And then at that point, they could guess again. They could just like skip and get 0 points. But essentially, if they got it on the first drawing, they would get 3 points. The second drawing, they get 1 point. And then if they skipped, they got 0. So there was like a total of 21 points up for grabs if you got like a perfect score. So there was Shinx who did Dracula. And I know Dominique did. Maybe one or two other people got it on the first try, but he was trying to be tricky. It kind of looks like it kind of gives Birdo No a little bit, like with the little bow on top and like the
It does
arms.
give
I just
Birdo
went with
no.
Dracula has a Vegeta hairline. His wings are out. So
I mean, two people got it on the first try.
I was
So
picturing Count Von Count from Sesame Street, and that's the vibe I was going for.
yeah, no, yeah. A one, a two. Okay, anyway.
Exactly. Him and Hotel
Um,
Transylvania.
Yeah.
okay.
Ah, ah,
So
ah.
that was the first drawing. Mine was Nosferatu, which, in my opinion, if you look at all the drawings I've done for BB Rewinds, I think this is by far the best one.
By
It
far.
actually, I think, looks like him. And
Yeah.
part of it was I definitely learned, like with Rumpelstiltskin in long ago, I just
Crazy.
freestyled it. Like, and that was the problem. And then when I did Birdo No, I did use a comparison drawing, but I think I just got tired when I got to the arms. And I think I just gave up at that
And
point.
thank you for that.
And that is beauty.
And
Said,
so that's
said
why
you looked at a reference for that? That's not
Oh, I
right.
did. Isn't
I
that
can see
frightening?
it. The bow is
Isn't that
accurate.
frightening?
You can
Yeah.
tell what it is.
Well,
Yeah, thank
yeah.
you. Thank you. So
I
yeah,
treasure
so
Bird. Oh no, she's my favorite.
Birdo No was birds from like a mostly comparison drawing. And this one I did completely comparison. I thought it looked good. So there's Nosferatu. Graham, I really loved Graham's drawing because I think I
Thank
said, I
you.
said it's a little
Gojira.
creature I want to pick apples with in Papa's orchard. It really is. It was Godzilla. It was Godzilla, but he looks so cute. I don't know. He's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
He looks really cute.
I gave him the Tyranitar treatment.
Yeah, he
it
looks
was giving
super cute.
Tyranitar.
Yeah.
Alex's is also super cute. It was just like a little Frankenstein guy. He looks really cute. I'd also pick. I said too. Also a creature I would pick apples with in Papa's orchard. meant it. Both of
And
them
I did need a
love.
Disney comparison because that was not coming out of my brain. I'm searching like cartoon Frankensteins to find the simplest shit that I can imitate.
He's
It was a
so
struggle.
cute.
It's
No, he
just
looks great.
fall. Fall is the
Hotel
time to pick
Transylvania,
apples
which
from
is also
orchards.
It is.
Exactly.
That's exciting.
Swan did the Wicked Witch of the West, or Elphaba, or Elfie. And we also he did the lesbian flag, and I had a secret third command
I think
for
that's the
Elfie.
bisexual flag.
Oh, right. She is bisexual.
Linda's the
Oh,
lesbian. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm bisexual, not the bisexual erasure from the bi.
Calls
but
from the inside the
Close
house.
enough.
so anyway, I mean, it's a gay flag. Okay, cool. Love it. So we got the gay flag.
We slurred it
And
out.
then-
That's basically what happened.
And then we get to Luke's. Now, Luke's drawing, I think it's great.
It is.
It's a little disturbing, but they were drawing the Wolfman, but we also accepted American Werewolf in London because they looked pretty much the same. What was not acceptable was just like werewolf, and we said that. But then we also got some amazing other guesses that we could not accept as alternatives. We
Much
have
as I wanted
Big Bad Wolf, I think is fair, but if
Mhm.
you look up into the Big Bad Wolf, doesn't look the same at
Also,
all.
the Big Bad Wolf is not a classic horror
Correct.
movie monster.
Yeah, I agree. That's like lore. That's like, yeah. So,
That's
but
like
Big Bad
Aesop's
Wolf is
Fables or
like,
some shit,
Yeah, it's
bro.
fairy tales.
yeah. But Big Bad Wolf is like the most acceptable, non-accepted answer. Then we had Chewbacca and Cookie Monster. Now, Chewbacca, again, not a movie monster, but like, what the hell, sure. Cookie Monster is crazy. Like, but it's because the
To be
moon.
fair, that moon did
The
look
They
moon
like
looks
drew
like
They drew a moon in the corner, and it does kind of look like a cookie. So, like, why they kind of ate?
But
I
it
don't know. Like,
doesn't look
maybe
like
they're
Cookie
right.
Monster. He's a sock puppet with
No.
eyes.
Yeah, so that one was really fucking funny. And then the final drawing, which was also Shinx's child, was
I wouldn't call this a
the
drawing.
it was a
final
blank
prompt.
white screen. And then if they couldn't get it from there, they had like a totally just like nothing. And then there's a command from Kadabra that says, yes, the image has fully loaded. But I will say my biggest fear was that no one was going to get it and be mad about it. I actually think almost everybody got the Invisible Man on that one. almost
Yeah.
everybody. We also would have accepted like Casper, like a
Some
Oh
people
named
yeah,
threw
we
in a
did have someone
ghost.
Casper.
guess Casper.
We had a Casper in
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
any named ghost. It couldn't just be ghost because it wasn't generic, but like any named ghost was acceptable. But I think almost everybody, if not everybody, actually got it. And a lot of
Hmm.
people got it on the first try. Didn't even need the second image. And no, my biggest fear was they were gonna do the first command and be like, nothing loaded. And then they were gonna be pissy about it. Thankfully, that did not happen. So like respect.
Shanks, it's not
Love
that we were
that.
trying to dim your shine. We were simply fighting with the house guests in advance of the competition. So
We
Right,
I
fought
think
right.
enough
having
this
fights in our head.
season.
that I've had this cooking since before we knew who we were dealing with. I've had this cooking.
Yes.
So I was
Yes.
already like, this will be really funny one or another, and I'll take the blame. And it worked out. So I'm chill.
Yep.
I'm
But it's
content.
true. It's been in the this was a comp that we put together and like we all made the drawings like preseason, I think. So
We
this
drew
has
this in
been ready to
August, bro.
go.
Yeah, we did this
Yeah,
preseason.
and the Cowscast really liked it. It was fun, so we love that. Then with results, Megan abstained because again she had personal stuff going on at this point. Alex, DQ'd because she didn't say start. But she did complete it and got 5 points, which she would have not won with that anyway.
I think she was
Um,
Cookie Monster.
Wait, Alex
Yeah.
got
she,
5 points.
Yes,
yeah,
she
she
has.
was Cookie Monster. She was Cookie Monster. I think
Oh my
Raven was
God.
Chewbacca, and Alex was Cookie Monster.
That makes sense.
Um, it fits. And then I won't go through everyone, but like pretty much everyone after those two did like decent. And our last three were Kevin, Jason, and Dom. And Dom was the only person who got a perfect score of 21. And she got it in like 5 minutes. Like
That
she
girl ripped that shit
completely,
out.
she beasted this comp, like
Yeah, she
was
ate it up.
fast
Ate
and
them up.
entirely accurate. And honestly, to me, still completely unclear why she went for this HOH, but
Literally no idea.
why the hell not? I actually, I'm unclear she was quote unquote going for this HOH. I actually just think she was like, oh, a competition I like that I know things about. I'm just gonna do
I've
my best.
I've
Yeah.
literally done that here before where I've gotten too into the competition, having too much fun, and forgot to throw.
In season
Like,
16, notably,
Yeah.
Max, we'll see the competition later this week. Max saw the competition and he was like, I want to throw it. Then he saw that it was pink and fairy themed. He's like, okay, I have to win this now. I can't lose this
It was
competition. It's
I think it
pink.
was kind of that. Yeah. I think it was like Dom was like, "Oh, this is fun." And then like had a lot of knowledge about classic movie monsters and just
yeah,
kind of
she was
like
talking about
just
liking
did it.
horror films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So she probably just
Yeah. So
got
I
to
don't
it.
really think it was like a I want this HOH, but like there was also not really consideration of like what do I do when I win the HOH, but that's fine.
Because at this
So
point,
anyway,
Miss
yeah,
Cooper is in an alliance with at least one alliance with every single person in the house. Some of which she
exactly.
made on her own with like some even without Jason.
Yes.
She just made them to make it. And
Yeah,
like,
correct.
yeah.
So it's like so we're all wondering like, well, who the hell is she gonna nominate? Because she's in an
She's half
alliance with
responsible
everyone.
for our theme of like there's 20 million alliances and none of them mean a goddamn thing in this game.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Hmm.
her and Jason are
Hmm.
pretty much the main, if not the semi-main reason for that whole thinking. So
And I'll just bring this up
yeah,
now because everyone has an alliance with Dom, everyone trusts her, so nobody plays the temptation competition. So that
it's
twist
the
is
final
officially
temptation comp.
done.
It's the final week to do it.
Nobody
No
give a
one
fuck.
plays it.
No one gives a shit.
They are all winning the
They're like,
icy
oh, I trust
password.
Dom so much. I don't need this.
Yeah. And again, like I won't go into it again, but to be honest with you, Matt should have played. It's fine. Yeah, it's
I
fine.
think Dom gave him, I don't remember if she did this. She was telling people in her DR, like, Matt would get a week off. I don't know if she did this to his face, but she
She
was,
probably did.
her vibe
And
was
we can
Matt gets a
yeah.
week off. He should use it to help himself, that he did not use it to help
He did not. He
himself.
literally gets told. He literally figures out that he's not getting nominated and just like fucks off and like
Or went
golfs or
golfing or some
something.
shit.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah. What? What the hell? Sure. So anyway, so Dom wins. We're all wondering what the hell Dom's gonna do because, as we just mentioned, she's aligned with everyone, and um, she definitely made interesting choices. I would say for who she decided to go after. I mean, she ends up deciding to nominate and like from the beginning target Ramses, which I still don't really understand. Like, I think it was just like the
Because of the
person she
Raven
thought
of it
had the least
all.
power. Yeah,
Hmm.
like just
Because
and
at
she
this
thought
point,
like
she's like all in on Bud Slut. So like Ramses is enemy number
yes,
one because he's mad at Raven wrong. So he must die.
I guess so. Yeah. I mean, like that's pretty much
That's
it.
the only
Like,
reason I
Yeah,
lean
I
toward
also
this.
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
also at least at this point. I mean, what this is final 11,
Yes.
which like throws up. That we're
Yeah,
like
we got
50
to
days into
jury
final
after a
11.
month, by
Yeah,
the
She was also
crazy.
using it as like a shot at Megan, right? Because wasn't she saying
Yes,
that Megan
it
and Ramsey
was.
were
Yeah,
It
two
was a
publicly
shot. It
she
was.
called it an activity thing, which pissed off Ramses a lot.
Yeah.
And
She
like
Yeah,
also,
it
I'm
really
looking in her
is like
DR and she says she wants to, she says, I enjoy Ramses, but I do think he is also easily swayed and can be swayed to vote against my best interest at some point. So, I mean, she doesn't have a ton of trust in Ramses, which is fair. Ramses also isn't like around a ton. So I think she has that same feeling of like we talked about last week, like if someone's not around to talk with, then like you don't really have a great chance at like getting them to do what you want to do. So I think
yeah, they're more
but
that's
dangerous.
we
fair.
can't forget that when Ramses won HOH, Dom and Jason threw him into a trio chat.
Yeah.
And then she into HOH and throws him on the block. He's like,
And
hey,
then throw
the
them
fuck was up
immediately
with
down.
that? What's good,
Also,
man?
I to go not to punch down on Matt, but I also was saying her DR, she's saying this was before she nominated anyone. She said really the most ideal noms would probably be Alex slash Matt slash Ramses. So like he wasn't really like super safe. He ends up being safe for the week, but it wasn't like he was completely in the
It
clear or
was
anything.
purely just
So
for her. She's like, you know what, Matt deserves a break. Maybe he'll do good with this.
Yeah,
yeah.
and like I said, it's also still so early. Like Final 11 is too early to pull a trigger, in my
Yeah.
Yeah.
opinion, unless your shot's gonna
This is
hit.
the first Final 11 in like forever where there was no battle back bullshit
Yeah,
dealing with
it's like
everything. Thank
Hmm.
God.
you
But
don't want to pull the trigger on someone this early and one miss and two become so visible at like final 10. Like that shit's crazy.
and we'll
Hmm.
To
see.
like try to make like a huge move this early at the beginning of the jury phase. So I think that's also part of the reason why she went after Ramses, because he was not, he was construed as like getting rid of a number for Megan and getting rid of someone that she didn't exactly trust or communicate with strategically, knowing where he was going to go without thinking that it was someone that was like extremely connected to the house and that would piss off a bunch of people. I mean, it's one of those things of like she was trying to make the best of a bad situation, which she just shouldn't have won HOH in
Hmm.
general.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So Ramses kind of comes up as like, okay, and she's in an alliance with Ramses, by the way, like with everyone. But it doesn't, she doesn't give a fuck.
Not
She's
a
like, I'm
real
gonna
fucking
nominate
alliance.
Ramses.
I don't
The
remember its
And
IDK
name.
tour.
I don't remember the fucking name of it. That's how useless it was.
who knows?
It was made
Who
two
fucking
hours
knows?
into his HOH and it was so
Yeah,
transparent. Like it was
It was
yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
It was rough. That's a great word for it. So, and then when it's like who's gonna go up next to Ramses, I think at that point, Dom is kind of just thinking like which of my other people I'm all aligned with will be the least mad, will not go back against me, and like will accept that they're like a pawn, essentially. And like I don't think unfairly she like kind of lands on Alex because like again, like Alex is like not really around. Alex is like not super, I think on the surface at least, like invested in the game. So I think Dom was kind of just like, Alex isn't even here. I probably can just let her know, like, hey, you're just a pawn. Like, Ramses is my target, which is the truth. And at first, Alex, I think just kind of was like, okay, whatever. Like is mad about it. I think kind of like in private, but like to pretty much everyone is just kind of like acting like it's not a big deal. So then that's kind of just it. Then Dom
And
decides to nominate Ramses and
I
Alex.
want to say to Dom's, I don't know if I'll say to her credit, but this is also a bit of foreshadowing for the next part of this. She decides that, hey, Alex is my pawn. Before I nominate her, I'm going to go around to every single person that I trust and
Yeah,
secure that they're going to keep her, if not stay the same, first and foremost. So I will say, even though, as we've talked about this before, I am not a belief of like, you don't pawn someone you value, but I do think there is some level of like, hey, I tried to help because I got you the votes to stay, but also like you're also putting them in a position to leave to begin with. So it's like you're helping me even though you stabbed me, but you're giving me a band-aid. So like what's
You're not
like
helping.
yeah.
You're
Like
not helping. You're
so
literally
yeah.
putting me on the block.
and
What
then
here?
this is gonna come up later on as we'll get to that when we get to that. But Dominique goes around securing the votes for Alex to stay before she officially nominates her. And she does get a bunch of assurances. I'll vote out Ramses, so on and so forth, because she has an alliance with Alex, Kevin, and Dom. and herself. Cameron, Alex, Kevin, and herself. And she's like, you guys are gonna keep Alex, duh. Raven hates Ramses. Veronica's mad at Ramses. Jason will do what I want. Cool, got enough votes. And this also puts her on her radar because Raven and Veronica are starting to be like, why is he so sure she has Kevin and Cameron's votes? Kevin and Cameron don't talk. Hmm. Especially Raven. Raven at this point has been like darting her eyes, looking for a reason to like not trust Dom and Jason at this point, and she's finally found it here of like, okay, Dom and Jason are clearly running the house, and this needs to be stopped. But Raven has had at this point had bigger fish to fry and wanted to kill Ramses, and wanted to kill Megan, and wanted to kill Cameron. But I want to note this now that Raven has started to like clock Dom here, and this is part of why Dom should not have won HOH because it showed way too many of her cards, even when she tried to quote unquote play it safe here.
Yeah, way too early. Way
Yeah.
too early,
Mhm.
unfortunately.
I
And
mean,
this
yeah,
is a throwable HOH, I think.
1000%. Just do every
Um,
picture. Like, even if you know what it
yeah.
is. I think I threw this in 15. I opened every picture and I'd be like, man, what is this? Then I got to when I did actually, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is this actually? It's just open
Mhm.
every picture, like, and you'll already not get a perfect score at the very least.
Yeah. 100%.
You can even
Yeah. And
open a second picture somewhere. You guessed correctly on the first try every single time. Like
Yeah, like,
you she wasn't
these
even trying
people
to
are
run out
not
the
good at
clock. Like
throwing.
there was no attempt
5 minutes and
at
58
throwing.
seconds with a perfect score, bro. There was no, not a
There was
glimmer
no
of throw.
throw.
No
No
Uh,
glimmer.
chance.
There might
No
have been an
fucking
intent
chance.
originally, but the follow through was not there.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
She threw the
Right.
throw.
And I'll say too, we already mentioned it, but the Temptation, it's the last week of Temptation comps. No one plays it again. And so obviously where I'm in the host chat bitching, like, we made all these comps and no one's fucking playing them, blah, blah, blah. And then we're like, why don't we just use one of them for POV?
Because I have a belief if we
I've
make a comp, that shit is getting used. I don't care what, how, or when. We will kick something else out and slot this. If we made it, it's getting played. I do not care. I refuse to throw away competitions because I'm like, the amount of effort I put into this shit or someone else put into the shit, it's not going to waste. I don't, if it doesn't work with a theme, we'll make the theme work around this competition. I don't care. That's why we stopped doing themed weeks because if we have to move comps, we
Yeah.
can't throw everything off. But yeah,
Mhm,
Rerun's philosophy, a comp does not get thrown away unless it does not work. Only let you throw away comp.
efficient.
Yeah. And I mean,
This is
it ended up being a very fun comp. I think it was a good comp for POV because it's a surprise, it's Wordle.
Breaking
So
Wordle.
breaking Wordle. So a host had to be present while they played it. So it was nice that we only had to deal with that with like 6 people instead of like 11 people or
Yeah,
10
it was
people.
pissing me off.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
that would have
sure.
been a lot. But I think everyone had fun with it. This was like a really fun week of comps. Like honestly, usually at least for one of the comps each week, someone has a problem with something, which like fair enough. Fair enough. We're not perfect. But this was a week where everyone was like having fun. It was cute. Like we kept it cute. Love that. And something funny about this comp. So in the directions, I pretty sure I say so there's 5 rounds. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 5 rounds. Each word ranged from 4 to 7 letters. And I said each solution will be at least somewhat relevant to the Twilight universe. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Somewhat relevant to the Twilight universe. Okay.
Mhm.
So like the first word was love. Like, just like easy 4 letters, something like that. And then it was like fangs, birth, imprint, of course, imprint. We can't escape it. Eclipse,
And
like things like
controversially, we left out vampire, which tripped up a lot of people, which was really
it
Yeah, that was
did.
the
funny.
first guess
It did.
for a lot.
It did, which is fair.
It is.
So I think everyone solved all the words in some
Yeah,
amount
I
of
don't think
guesses.
anyone ever got to 6 guesses, and no one broke like timed out or anything, thankfully.
Exactly. Yeah. So like everyone did like pretty good. This definitely was like not a flop performance by anyone. Yeah. Most people tried to guess vampire, which Gotcha, bitch. And actually, I think vampire might have been the tiebreaker question if we needed a tiebreaker.
It
I think
was.
Um,
so. Yeah.
so it wasn't. It was in the back if we
It
needed
was
it,
on
but
the
I kept it
way.
out of the main competition. Um,
What would
and
the
it was
tiebreaker be
really.
when everybody guessed vampire? Whoever said it first?
I had another tiebreaker word. So
Yeah, there
like
was
if
the
we had
back.
to, it probably yeah. I had another tiebreaker word. So we
For when
hope
everyone
I was
gets in
hope
one guess.
I guess I would have just kept making them do tiebreaker words until someone got it faster. Like
That's fair.
Yeah.
honestly.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So thankfully, thank God we didn't get to that point. So everyone does pretty well, but like Raven, who just gets like picked to play in POV, just like randomly, like totally destroys this competition. She gets like 2 or 3 on her first
She gets
guess, just like
birth,
nails
and I
it.
want to say Eclipse on her first try.
Yeah, I think
Or no, it
so.
was birth and imprint because imprint, duh,
Yeah.
and birth
Yeah.
was just a lucky guess.
Yeah, no, she just got super lucky. So because she got 2 rounds on her first try and then did like pretty well for all the other rounds for the most part, she kind of just like ran away with it. Well, not actually, I lied. Her and Alex were only 1 point away from each other. And I think it's because Raven got like 4 or 5 guesses on like one word, whereas Alex did like consistently like 2 or 3 each time. But
Yeah.
because Raven got those first 2 on or those 2 words on one try, she just barely edged Alex out, which like isn't a huge deal because Alex isn't the target. I don't think anyone's even like trying to campaign against Alex either. Like Veronica likes Alex, Raven likes Alex, Jason wants to keep Alex. Like I think
Everyone at
Alex, I
this
don't think
point
was
is
in
trying
any
to still keep Alex in their back pocket still. It's the same thing of like, oh, she
exactly.
can win comps. She's fun when she's here. We have bigger fish to fry. Let's try to rope her in. And we'll see
Hmm.
soon that that's gonna be a point of
I think a
contention
They've
lot of
later.
they've
people are
created
also
a
trying to
monster.
drag her to the end because they're like, in my opinion, severely overestimating the importance to the jury of her being voted out in a
Mhm.
season
Yeah.
with like everybody being asked to like be voted out in the
Yeah.
And
jury.
I will
She did
see
not miss a lot of
she's
gameplay.
also a pre-jury battle back. So like she didn't
Yeah.
miss much of the game. And I don't even with like the jury argument, like when someone leaves in the jury phase, again, they probably didn't miss much of the game. And Alex especially, every high and oh, she missed people trying to quit. That's it. She went through everything else you guys went through.
Yeah.
She was there. People tried to leave. She made jury. She went through the double eviction. Like she went through everything, and she still had to fight her way back. Like her return was not guaranteed. Yeah, two people DNF. She still had to beat Cody. She still had to beat Jessica. Like she still earned her way back in. She just took a break and did nothing. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm sensitive about this because I am a battle back winner in a different series. I'm just like, I feel like if it's especially in rewinds, if it's we know what the twists are, you know
Yeah.
it's coming. You are allowed to plan around this. We've talked about this like last season, I think, but I both times I played with the battle back in mind, and it's like it's there for a reason. You know what it's not like we're probably hey surprise, like it was there from the jump. You should have known. Like I don't think, especially in rewinds in particular. I don't think it's fair to like rule someone out for being a battle backer, but also like people are gonna have their own
Well,
opinions on it. So
I no, I mean, I agree with you. Like, I don't think like I at least in my opinion, if I was a juror, I would not automatically discount someone who came back on a battle back. I personally like I would not. I think part of this narrative around Alex continues because in a way, even though she was only gone very, very briefly and it was all pre-jury, like she's so inactive and like so for so much of the game has not been like even around in any meaningful way that it almost feels like she was gone for longer.
and
But we'll
And like
get
and
there.
I'll give that
like
credit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
and
get
like I
there.
just yeah, and I just feel like there's I think she's just like it's like hadn't if she hadn't been evicted and had just stayed in the game like naturally, I still think she would have no win equity because she's just not been here.
Mhm.
And it's like we'll get to it, but like even when she's now kind of like in some ways becoming more important, I mean, it's more like it's less because of her autonomy as like a player and more just like we're in an end game stage where like competition wins are really important and she's just a comp piece and other people can't win out against her. So she's kind of being forced into like being more important, but she still really isn't locked in, at least at this point in the game that we're talking about now, like this present past day. She's still just like in a lot of ways like a non-entity. So it's like I just think it's like the combination of the fact that like she was evicted and like didn't even campaign for herself, like was a non-presence then, and has continued to kind of be that way. I mean, if you are able to make it to the end with her, I don't think that's a bad strategy, because like she really, especially again at this point, had like nothing to her name except for the fact that she was evicted. Like that was kind of the only significant thing about her, was that she'd been
Hmm.
evicted in a battle back, or and come back through the battle back. Like if she hadn't done that, like what would we even put to her name in any significant way at all in this game? Like literally nothing. So I don't think the narrative against her is unfair or like totally misguided. I think the problem is that people aren't clocking that like she is here, and she obviously does want to play because she beasted the battle back, and she very frequently beats comps for no
Hmm.
reason other than she just wants to.
Yeah.
And you're letting her sneak and fight her way into endgame, and like, can you beat her in a competition?
That's the
I'm
thing.
not sure
It's
that they
like
can.
I don't like, maybe this is coming from me as a person who like can never count on comp wins, but like if I was a player in this season, to me, I would just see someone with a guaranteed spot at final two. And that's scary because if you can't win that final HOH, or if you're not very sure in like your relationship with her, or, you know, like that final two status, like you're just at the mercy of someone who isn't around that often to strategize with, you know, like I, I don't know.
But I will give
It's
Telling you.
some. Go ahead, Graham.
I'm just saying, yeah, it's baffling to me. Watching it happen in real time. Um, I'm not like an anti-battle backer. I think as a jury member, I would never absolutely just like never say I would never vote for someone who is evicted. No, I think it's a huge ding to the
Yep,
game.
agreed.
But I wouldn't
It's
be
not
like
a deal breaker, but it's definitely like
correct. Yeah,
a
like if Alex had got evicted, came back and like takes out Megan, Dominique, Jason, Veronica, Raven, like back to back to back to back to back,
yeah, like
like a
okay,
crazy
girl, take the
person.
dub. Like
You know what I mean? Like, okay, you beasted it out. Good job. Like, whatever. Like, I wouldn't just be like an absolute anti, but I do think it is quite a big dink from the game that you were evicted.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, I'm similar to Alex in like, I fortunately could win comps, right? Like, I could win them if I needed to count on them. Um, but I still wouldn't. But I wasn't like a comp beast. You know what I mean? Like, I could win them if I needed to. Um, but that also isn't something that I could pretty much just choose. Like I had to really put a lot of effort into it. And Alex seems like one of those players that's just gonna be good at comps kind of regardless, because there are those types of players.
I will be
Um,
curious about her in Endgame though, because of how notes heavy that
she's
is.
rejected studying
correct.
for a meme at this point, but I'm wondering, yeah, if she's in there and knows that
I
she has to study, will she lock in or will she just
Mhm.
throw it to the wind?
yeah, I'm interested to see if when we get to notes comps if she's actually got the ball knowledge, to quote the kids. If she knows ball like that, because I don't know if she will. Um, just because the comps she's winning are they're still comps, but she's not winning like the notes comps.
Yeah.
Um, so that will be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, I agree with Alex. Like I would not let this person anywhere near. Once we hit final 10, it's like, all right, let's get this person out of here. Like
The
we need to backdoor this person before they can start being able to play in every single veto.
yeah.
Because then it's like then you're fucked, you know?
The thing I was going to say was the people who do want Alex in their end game, namely Kevin, Cameron, and Veronica, are all also, well, specifically Veronica, are not slouching the competition themselves, for one.
Hmm.
And for two, I think those three in particular have all made enough inroads with Alex that any one of them, depending on the final three permutation, could bank on her taking them if need be. So I don't think it's a total, I think it's a wash for someone like a Dominique to try to bank on this because what relationship do you have with Alex at this point, especially now that you're nominating her here? But like for a Veronica or definitely a Cameron or a Kevin, where I'm like where they have this tight trio, like even still, Alex's trust rankings when she started doing them finally, it goes Kevin, Cameron, Veronica, or like Kevin, Veronica, Cameron, something like that. Veronica's a number two, so she still has her above one of her two trio members. So it's like Veronica especially has done a lot of great work with Alex even before she left, and
Hmm.
especially after she's come back to be like, I do believe in the right final D scenario, Veronica Veronica could choke and Alex would still take her. I could also see Alex being wise and like, nah, Veronica, you gotta go. But I could see you go either way. But there's a solid chance that Alex does bring Veronica to panel two if we get in that timeline. So it's not a total wash of Veronica, but everyone else not named Kevin or Cameron should be trying to get Alex out, in my opinion. And Ramses, but he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
So
we can just say it.
yeah.
Ramses leaves kind of unceremoniously. It was another unanimous vote. I wish there was more to say. Ramses was a fun character when he was around. Shout out Harry, love you. But the vote was kind of
But
a
one thing that I
Well,
think
kind of a
is fun to
wash.
shout out because we kind of skipped over this when we were talking
Yeah,
about like everybody just skipped the temptation comp is
yeah.
Hmm.
Ramses
Oh
came back
yeah.
online to see himself nominated and was like, "Oh shoot, I meant to play in that. That's my bad."
yep.
It was just so because it was with the roll on, like
And
he
I'm
had
just like,
the
bruh.
next of
Yeah.
his name.
Also, one
Yeah.
other dumb thing that happened this cycle that is just like random, but like after Dom won HOH, she went in house chat and posted a screenshot from her subs
Oh
channel
my
from when
God.
she played the competition. I went, girl, you can't do that. Like, what? Why did you think you could do that? She's like, it's my subs. Oh, and well, yes, but no screenshots. Can't leak your subs, Queen.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
She didn't get a strike for it because this is actually, I think, is the first time that anyone's posted any screenshots or anything,
Yeah.
even skirted that rule. But we let her know that that's not allowed. So hopefully, no one
This
gets
is
cute
also the
about that
first time I've
again.
ever had a house guest post screenshots of their subs anywhere. That's not
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh
something
my
to do.
God.
it
Why
was
even
like
Rewind.
a it was
why
like
would
a
you do
triple
that to
whammy.
begin
It
with?
was a triple whammy, really. So that was fun.
Like
But
I
and
could see you like trying to
yeah,
take a screenshot of a conversation with someone and like do that when you're leaking or something. Like that at least makes sense to me. The
yeah,
screenshot of the subs was just so
She
out
wanted to
of
just
left
show her
crazy.
guess or her
field.
score or some shit. And I'm like, bro, you
We
don't
saw
need
your
Yeah,
all
you
score,
these.
can't.
friend. We know what
You
you
can't you
got.
can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
And
extra
another thing
gagged because,
and
like, not to hint at identity, but like, I would expect Dominique to know better about that. Like, what the fuck?
I think the only other. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say one last thing too is like Ramses does. We thought Ramses when he realized it was like he was leaving and there's nothing he could do. We thought he sounded like he was gonna do like a call out, like call out Dom for like being in an alliance with him and not sticking by it, or call out like specific names or something. And he doesn't end up doing that. He does kind of give like a pretty long, probably honestly maybe one of the longest goodbye speeches from this season, where he's kind of like I think it's worth practicing what you preach regarding activity, reflecting over conversations. I implore you all to actually follow that implication of the gains beating up and these majority votes are getting bland, blah, 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 which is fair. I will say, like, a lot of the house guests have been like, wow, another unanimous vote, which is fair. But like, other than the weeks where there were like essentially soft walks, like there's been a lot of attempts to change votes and stuff. Like there's been stuff happening behind the scenes and then it always doesn't work out. But like, I don't think the votes are always as straightforward as like everyone's just voting a Nan. Like this vote kind of was, but that's not always the case. But I
It also
digress.
ends up being like, especially we'll see in these later weeks, that with the way the noms are, everyone just generally has a preference, and like,
Yeah.
it's not that the HOA is targeting the house target, so to speak, or that people are
Yeah.
flocking it, but the
Yeah.
HOA just kind of like the HOA does not, the people are getting what they want. Like no one has voted again. It's just the HOA picks the right noms to get a unanimous vote, honestly, and that's
The
it.
only
Yeah.
person
It's,
that
yeah.
did not get what they wanted this week was Megan.
Yeah,
And that
Megan
was,
yeah.
yeah,
and
becoming a
Kevin was also
pattern.
not happy to
Yeah, I was
vote
gonna
for
note that's one of the
Ramsey.
things. Kevin
But
was a little upset here because Kevin had another trio with Alex and Ramses as well, plus his
yeah,
trio with Cameron.
Kevin was having to choose between his top two allies, and
Yeah,
she was thrilled
and
with
Kevin
that.
was upset that Dom nominated Alex because it was like, what the fuck? We have an alliance. Like, what's the deal here? And yeah, Raven
Hmm.
threw with it. There was a glimmer of like, oh, well, Raven's used the veto so they can backdoor Megan, but they threw that shit away so quick. It was never happening. Dom wanted Ramses. She was getting Ramses.
Yeah, Megan was not thrilled this week. She wasn't really around because of personal stuff, but like she got really, I think, impacted by this past cycle going into the next one.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I hate more Sydney and I always do this. Sydney and I always kick somebody when they're down. We always do it, and I don't know why. But there is just nothing, there is nothing I hate more than a long fucking goodbye speech that is extremely vague. Like,
Yeah.
that's just nothing. Like, if you're gonna speak all those words, say something. Like, I don't know, the whole vagueness of like, some people need to be better. Who? Who needs to be better? Who
Name
voted you out,
names.
King? Like, you know what
Name
I mean?
names.
Like
I've literally had
genuinely.
all my alliances leaked in a goodbye message once. Not a goodbye
Yeah,
message, in the goodbye and ceremonies or whatever. It was
good,
lovely.
good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I deserved it. It was earned.
yeah. Yeah, I think I don't understand why these people leave with grace. I don't know. I mean there's a place for grace and decorum, but I think when you're being voted out of an online Big Brother game, uh
Unanimously at
and
that.
with and you know the rules because it's rewind, so there's no battle back, you know you're gone. I think giving this long like posthumous like message that's like I think people should be kinder. Yeah, we're good. Like I don't know. Like
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
I just don't like when it's so vague. You know what I mean? Like you
Well, it's
this
like
is
either do
getting
something or
boring.
don't. Like you don't have to do
Yeah,
anything. Like you can just leave and say your
Oh, we'll
piece.
see some real funny final words in a bit. I just
genuinely.
remember.
It's
No,
like
yeah. And also, I'll note too that Ramses gets evicted and then it's like, by the way, anyone who doesn't send me a goodbye message is not getting my vote, which is like low key fair. And
Yeah.
like, not everyone
mhm.
sends him a
If you don't
goodbye
have the like,
message.
you
No.
have 24 hours. We don't have the time or care or remembrance to like say
Mhm.
good. Tell me something. Then
Set a
what's the point?
timer.
Yeah. See like
Notably,
that
Veronica
that
does
I
not send
stand
him a goodbye
behind.
Yeah.
message, which could be a problem as a Veronica's virgin. She needs to lock up some jury votes. So,
No, genuinely.
um,
Yeah.
but like he gets them from most people. But this cast has not been super awesome about sending voice or goodbye messages. So I guess we'll see
Yeah. Megan
how that
doesn't send any.
continues.
Again, Megan has her own issues, but Megan doesn't send any. Alex gets one in at the buzzer, but yeah.
Also, Ravens is really funny because she's been very short and sweet with her goodbye messages. We'll do the
Well,
then for next
short.
week
She's been
too.
short. I don't know about sweet.
I was about to
No,
say
no, no.
sweet.
This one was sweet. This one was sweet. She's literally she says, "Oh, sweet, sweet Ramses. Everyone knows ravens have amazing memories. Forgive but never forget. Rest well, my prince." That was sweet.
That one was
That's the
sweet.
Mhm.
sweet.
No,
That's the
we'll
sweetest she
get a
probably gets.
we'll get a I'll
Next
get a
week,
nice
well,
sweet one later.
We'll really jump on that because that was fucking crazy. Yeah,
Next week. Oh,
yeah, I just don't yeah, I
we've
the
come from Cole and like even Sydney and people sending novels is when we had to put a word limit in some seasons and like
Cole and
pictures
Sydney,
and
you mean
gifs.
Always
Graham?
catching
Graham
strays.
too.
You
Always
do you
catching
mean Amber
strays.
in season 13?
I Cole was going crazy and for we I think we added I don't remember it was just we added a limit at some
I
point. I
was
think
definitely putting like exhibits into
there
mine
were
and
words,
shit and being like,
gifs,
wait, can you set it
images,
in this
like
order?
everything. I'm
And
just
oh, it's
like,
so high
bruh.
maintenance. It's so bad.
Like we went from this era of GBM to like bye. Like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's been a fun exchange of seeing these people who aren't even close to like rewinds historians get thrown into our
Hmm.
crazy world and just seeing how they've been. It's been a fun experiment.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, going into the next week now, again, Rewinds doth not waste competitions. So the other
Wait,
temptation competition that was not played, Waging War, which is our classic like gambling competition, we brought that back in for a nice HOH because it's like, how late in the game do you do a crapshoot HOH? And I feel like Final 10 is probably the last real
Yeah,
time you can
this
do
yeah,
is about
double
the
one.
last
digits.
place you can do
So
that.
this was about the last place I was willing to put it. So it just happened to work
I
out well.
mean, it is crapshoot. I would say there's at least some element of strategy
There's
to it,
some
like between
strategy.
Yes.
Alex and like trading out cards to make sure that you get the right that you can get one that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
really bet on and
But then
the
again,
right
some people
scenario.
tried to redraw. At least one person did a redraw and then got the same ones. I was like, tough luck.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
shit's just
T
now
tough
I feel
luck
like
at
it's
that
about as
point.
crapshooty as like Wordle, kind of, because like
yeah,
that
Yeah.
really depends on your
yeah.
first guess, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this
There
one,
is
oh,
strategy with
good.
Wordle though, because we gave them the theme. Like we
Oh,
told
that's
you
true.
these.
Yeah.
So it's like there is actually like, and by the way, a lot of people in that Wordle competition did not use, like, I think, hold on, I actually need to do this. I
I
actually need
remember
to say some of
Jillian
the
was so
words.
funny with
Yeah,
that.
I was
Jillian and
like, let
Cameron
me
were
go.
not doing
Let
these
me
fucking
very
words.
quickly, let me very, very quickly roll up in Jillian subs because I absolutely have to tell you some of the words
It
she
was
used.
Jilly P and Cameron who were
Her,
not using the
one of
theme.
her, one of her first words was royalis, not
I
royals,
think
but
I
royalis.
don't know what the Royales.
Um, Royales. One of her first words was okay. Swan was a fair first guess.
Yeah, that was good.
I'll
Raven
give her
tried to
that
enter
one.
Chud.
She kept using royal. She said like lesbian as one
And
of her guesses.
That's valid. I
Writing.
support her.
She said quiet, livid. Girl, what the hell? Pangs,
Livid
fair.
is how I feel whenever
She
Edward is
was.
creepy with Bella.
She used the word luge, Luge. Like
Luge.
she
she was looking for letters or some shit,
Pier,
bruh.
Pier. Like,
Yeah, she was
okay.
definitely going for like the
We
common.
can't forget, like Raven tried to enter Chud as a word. And Wordle didn't take it for some, like the website we use, I was using the score would not take it. So I had to just put in Chad so it would go through as a word. Because the word was taking, the website would take my typos, but it wasn't taking Chud. I don't know if it has like a filter on or something, but it was, I'm like, why would you try to guess Chud? In what world would the answer be Chud?
Yeah, so I just needed to point that out. But anyway, next
But
week
yeah.
on to the new HOH.
Yeah, waging war. The biggest point of contention here was everyone wondering why the hell there was an 11 in our quote unquote deck of cards. To which the answer is Jackson made the comp. I didn't season 16. He put an 11 in because he made his own cards. And we made our own cards in 17. We made our own cards in 18. And this year, I was lazy. We didn't need the cards. We didn't do the fucking cards. I didn't make the cards. And everyone's like, why is there 11? I'm like, don't worry about it. It makes it easier for you if there's an 11 in there. So shut up. But yeah, people's bets were all over the place. But it came down to Alex,
Have we
Kevin.
explained what the comp was, by
I
the
don't
way?
think
I
so.
just said our classic
No,
betting
he said.
comp.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like you get like $100 and then to start with, then there's like 7 rounds. You pull a card and
Yeah,
then you bet a number of your money and you say whether you think the next card you draw will be higher or lower than the card you just drew, and you get 3 redraws throughout the comp, so you can like redraw a card. If like let's say you get like a 7, you can redraw and hope you get like a 2 or like a king, so you have a much better chance of knowing whether it's going to be higher
yeah.
or lower. And for some reason we have an 11. Right. I mean, who gives a fuck? Like, it doesn't really matter.
The
No.
11 makes it easy. They have
um
more cushion with an extra number in there, so they should be grateful they had a fucking 11. Stop asking
Yeah.
questions. But yeah,
That will
Cameron.
be
so
rectified next season.
also, I just want to say
Go for it.
I hosted the winner of this competition, and ooh, so what was pissing me the fuck off was
We'll talk about it now.
Something pissed Sydney off. I refuse to believe.
wow,
I'm
crazy,
shocked.
crazy, never happened before. So I'm hosting Alex, and she is doing really well. I mean, she's going high stakes, so she's
She's
just betting
all
all
in
of her
every
money.
single time.
Except for like the last round, every single
Yeah.
round she goes all in every single time, and
Yeah,
she's
she does
drawing
like a
really good
dollar or two her
cards.
last 2 rounds. Yeah, she does
Yeah,
$1 her final 2 rounds to end up
yeah,
with a
like,
score of 36
and she's
or
drawing
20,
like a
3202.
2. She's drawing like a king, and she's using her redraws well, and the redraws are like very helpful. But every round, she'll bet all of her money, and she'd be like, "Oh, I'm nervous, bye," and then just log off or like just turn Discord off. So she would immediately go offline, and I'm like, uh, girl, you're still in it, because every single time she would get it right and like double her money. So I'd have to wait like a minute for her to come back. She'd be like, sorry, I got scared. Sorry, I got so scared. I'm like, oh, it's okay. It's okay. So then the next round, she'd be like, I'm betting everything. I'd be like, okay, higher or lower. She'd be like, higher. She'd be like, I'm really scared. Bye. And then she just log off again. I was like,
Cow
girl,
knows no fear.
just stay. It like we're so this.
I know this would have pissed me off so much if I was hosting it, but I'm giggling so
I was
much.
watching it happen. I literally watched her sidebar just disappear, come back, disappear, come
Just
back. I'm like,
disappear.
So
I was
funny.
like, girl, just stay
why does
online.
she
It's
keep
just
fucking
like a
leaving, bro?
Yeah, it's like you
Not
would
to
literally just
spoil
watch
in
her
the future,
immediately
but doesn't she
go.
do that with like the other HOH? She's just like,
Yes,
Yes.
fuck, I
Yes.
think I did it wrong. I'm just gonna log off for 12 hours. Like,
Yes.
She
yes.
does it
Yeah.
yesterday. She did it with the veto that she almost won. She just if she's nervous about a comp, she logs off. And I'm like, you know what? Respect. I've done that
Yeah,
sometimes.
she'd
Well,
be
I
like,
wouldn't
"I'm
say that's
back."
a trait that's reserved to her being nervous about comps. I think Alex just logs off a lot in general.
At one point, she goes, "Do you see me leaving after everyone?" And I went,
I'm like,
"Yes,
yes.
I see you, girl. I see you,
You're in the
girl." Okay.
sidebar. It's your subs. There's not many people here.
Pretty much
That
just me,
shit.
you, and Shinx, girl. That's
Yeah,
it.
but and I
So
think she did this
anyway,
enough that I was able to finish someone else and come back and watch her. And I was like, girl.
Yeah,
yep,
genuinely.
yep.
But
So,
yeah.
so anyway, so that was fun. Actually, I was very involved with Alex this whole week for more reasons we'll
Oh,
get
we'll
into in a
get there in a
second.
second.
We'll get
So
there. But anyway, so Alex is the only one who both goes for the high stakes bet pretty much the whole time and successfully does it. Like she had amazing
yeah, Cameron
strategy
goes
and
all
luck.
in like round two and then gets Cameron was on, I think Cameron bet a three and then he bet higher and
It
all
was a
in and then
two.
he
He
landed on
got
the
a
two. And I
two.
was like,
That's
that's
Cameron's
actually
love.
tragic.
That's
Cameron's
Cameron's love.
And then I think it
Yep.
happened to Matt as well. It did happen. The same thing happened to Matt, but Matt didn't bet all his money. But Matt ended with $8, so like he might have basically bet all of his fucking money anyways.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
it
I
was
think
like
Was
that.
Alex the only one that also went 7 for 7?
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Alex
It was
ended with
just
a
like
score of
it all kind of just worked
3202
out for her.
compared
It
to
just all
Kevin's
kind of worked out for her.
2600 and Jason's 2000 flat. So
So
I
Alex
mean,
wins.
yeah,
Period.
And I will say once we realized, I mean, Alex, I actually think like did this HOH like very quickly after it was announced because we're also on the abbreviated deadlines and stuff,
yeah,
and
because
so
this is
it's
supposed to
pretty
be a double
clear.
eviction, but these people can't stand it
Yeah,
for shit. So we're like, you know what? We're gonna cut this shit down. You get
But
18 hours
then
for
they have the
noms.
audacity to complain about it being long when they're
every
the
fucking
ones that are
time,
pushing
Mhm.
it longer over and over again. I don't know what they want.
every time,
Asking
every
for
No
time.
idea.
Yeah,
extension.
we're in the rewinds fast forward little bubble. So for
Yeah,
competitions, they get 18 hours instead of 24. For decisions like nons or using veto, they get 12 hours. But then for eviction, they still get the full 24 hours because like it's eviction. We'll give you a chance here.
Yeah.
And we'll
yeah.
see that. Yeah. But yeah, so Alex wins HOH and then her noms
and and
or really
and we don't know what's going on, and I'm unclear if she knows what's going on. I mean, I we saw that she was going to win it pretty much from the beginning because she went first and she could not really have done better than she did. So I
No.
was like,
yeah.
so we all knew she was going to win, and I'm
The
just sitting
only way
there
she
like,
does better is she
what?
goes all in on her last two and then gets more than $2. But she made the smart
But
choice of not doing that. So
Yeah.
like,
yeah, yeah, so it's just like, so we're all just wondering, like, what the hell is she going to do? Because Alex, in my opinion, at this point in the game, doesn't really know what's going on, has a lot of like people who want to work with her, but I don't think has any real meaningful allies simply because she's not here to like talk shop really with anyone. And
Mhm.
she's not really been involved in any of the main strategizing or power structures or game decisions that have been made since she's been in the game. So it's really like a ginormous question mark about what her intentions are and who she's like not cool with. But it's also kind of exciting. Like it is kind of it's I think because we've been talking so much about like why do they keep Alex in the game? Like why is Alex making it a jury? Finally, it's like it's going to harm them. Like finally this decision to like drag her corpse around is finally going to harm someone because it's like you can't just do this. Like you're going to end up in a bad situation and with this big wild card winning because she's a comp
Mhm.
beast and then you're going to be suddenly in danger and all pissed off about it, but it's like how did this was always going to happen if you
Yeah.
kept her around. So I was kind of ready for her to do something because I was ready for them to like start seeing the consequences of their actions here, which I do think in some ways they do. So fair enough.
so at this point, Alex locks in her noms with us, and she's gonna nominate, I believe it's Megan and Matt. And then
No,
no,
No.
it's not. I know
Dominique
it's
and Matt.
I was no, she has Megan first, and then she switches it.
She
Okay.
switched. She said it very quickly, like, "Wait, hold on, I'll come back," or something like that.
Yeah,
And
she
she like
does.
goes
She
to talk
does
to
Megan
people.
and Matt first, and then she goes and talks to Megan, and Megan talks herself
Oh,
off
right,
the
right, 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 right.
ledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all
Mhm,
niggas
mhm.
Sorry,
jumping
I
me.
didn't. I thought you jumped to like when I see
Yeah,
what
I
you mean.
thought
Yeah.
you had jumped to the actual nomination
No,
ceremony.
she leaves Megan and Matt first, and then is She goes to talk to Megan and like let them know, like, hey, I'm gonna be not. And at this point, although Alex hates Matt, Alex hates Matt bad.
Which
She
I've
wants
is
always hated him, which has been really funny. I
so
still really don't fully
strange.
she
understand
wants
why.
Matt dead. Like Matt is her
Yeah.
number one guaranteed
That
target.
carries this season's tradition of people just randomly having like one person they fucking hate.
Because
For
after
no
Alex came
fucking
back, she was like, you
reason.
know what? I'm gonna nominate Matt and Mark because I can't tell them apart anyways.
Like Jillian,
Julian
Jillian
and Raven hate the fuck out of Cameron. Dom used to hate the fuck out
hates
of Cameron.
Cameron.
Raven hates the fuck out of Megan.
Kevin
Kevin hates
hates
Veronica
Jillian for
and
some
Jillian and
reason.
Raven.
Yeah, it's just like I don't
It's
get
a
it.
hate
I don't
fest.
They just all
It's a
have
hate.
one
This
person
is
they
supposed to be a franchise of
cannot
love. These
fucking
bitches hate
stand.
each other.
Yeah, this is a pretty hateful season.
All
Good.
kinds
I
of
don't know
hate
who's going to be
everywhere.
friends after this. Truly, these niggas don't like
Good.
each other at all. It's really funny, and that's you know
And
what?
the ones who do like each
Raven
other
and
stab each other, so they hate each other by the time they leave.
Yeah,
And
Mhm.
I see a lasting friendship with Raven and Veronica,
and that's about it.
and that's probably it.
But yeah, so yeah, she leaves in Megan and Matt noms, and then goes to talk to Megan. She's like, "Hey, Megan, you nominated me week one, and I let week two, whatever, and I went home, so da da da. And I know you've been trying to get me out or whatever. 'Cause at this point, the Megan did prefer Randy's to stay, but Megan did not have the will to push that at all. So she was just like,
Oh.
whatever, I'm gonna vote with the house. But she did vocalize to people that she wanted Randy to stay. So people ran that back to Alex. But Megan's like, no, it's not what I said. I just said I wanted Randy to stay, and everyone wanted you gone da 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 da. And then Alex is like, oh, okay. And then switches to Dominique because Dominique did put her up more. Like, yes, Megan took her out, but Megan was like, look, first of all, it was week two. Second of all, you were my fourth choice after a power and a veto got used. And I didn't like, that's just how it went out. And third of all, you came back. So Dominique and Megan's like, and plus Dominic just put you up last week. Alex is like, you know what, you're right. So then she goes to her subs and changes her placeholder noms from Megan and Matt to Dom and Matt. And that's where she stays off. She leaves
Mhm.
room to think if she wants to change, but she does not change, and she does not come back by the
And then
deadline.
she just logs out for 12
And
hours.
I don't believe she tells Dominique, if never correct, which
yeah, she
is
told no
No,
another,
one.
yeah, which
she
makes
does not
another
tell
point of
anyone.
contention. So we can get into Sydney's nomination ceremony and then the fallout from that. If you would like, Sydney, take us away.
Yeah.
I had to take my
Yes.
glasses off for this.
So yeah, so Megan does a very slay thing and convinces Alex to keep her safe. So then for reasons I still don't understand, Alex, who I know full well knew she was not going to log back online or change her mind, goes in her subs, gives us her nominations with like a one sentence reason, and then is like, "Here are my noms in case I'm not here later. I'll be back later." But like just in case, and she logs off, and I immediately go, "Her ass is not going to be back. Why didn't she just do the noms then?" But whatever. So yeah, so she doesn't come back. Shocker. So I have to wait until like the deadline is like literally done. Like we're like seconds past the actual deadline. So then I show
Mm-mm.
up, and everyone's also like, "Why is Alex pushing
Oh
this?
yeah,
Why is Alex
Cameron is
pushing
like,
this?"
what is she doing? Is she gonna make the deadline? Where's Alex? What's gonna happen? I don't. Cameron is freaking the fuck out.
And little does she know that it's just like Alex just decided she didn't want to do her own nominations. Like,
Which is
I
okay.
think this has happened once before in the old era. I can't remember when, but I know I've done noms for someone at least once. I can't remember who or when, but I know I did someone's noms once, and again, it did not go over well. Just like this one does not go over well.
Yeah, so I have to wait until the deadline is completely gone, and then I show up with the Tiffany Bad Girls Club sitting in her bed with the sunglasses on gift. And I'm like, well, Alex is not online, but she left us her nomination choices, so I'll be doing the nominating today. I'll be doing the
And
nominating
City
today.
tries to nominate me and gets the command.
And then of course you have to come and be like, I am a winner. Shut the fuck up. Like,
Because you
just
used
shut
the wrong
up.
command.
Just shut up. I
You
mean,
could you,
I
you could have
didn't.
done it so good if you used the right command and nominated me twice in one move because I have two keys, but you fucked it up. So I had to let them know.
Honestly, it was funny the way it was, and then you
It would,
came in and kind of
and
ruined the
I made
joke.
it
So like it's
perfect.
whatever.
I made it beautiful.
Okay. So anyway, so I try to nominate Jinx, and I'm like, and the command doesn't work, and I go, oh, this is awkward. So anyway, I guess I'll nominate the real people. So then I nominate Dominique, and the sentence she gave me to say was, Dominique, you put me up last round, so I think that this is only fair. Then I do her second nomination, which is Matt, and for Matt, she said, we hardly talk, so I have no clue where you stand in this game. Okay. So
Ironic, one might say.
So I do her nominations, and then we go off to POV draw. And was this was your POV, right? Oh no, this is
I
No,
no, we're not gonna move past this.
this is my PW.
We're not
We'll
gonna
get
move
there.
past
We
this.
have some things to discuss first.
I
Ah.
We can't just breeze past. No, no.
I have been sitting here with my face covered,
Yeah, he's got his head's fully in his hands right
Graham's
now.
been mad about
In
this
the
for real
dark.
life. Let's see. This happened in real life on the 16th. It's the 23rd. Graham's been
and
mad about
I'm
this
st it's
for
been a week, and I
a
am
real life
still mad
week at
about
this point.
this.
Graham has been upset about this.
Graham has been upset for a real life week about this. This shit is crazy. If I got evicted and the person who was HOH didn't even fucking bother to put me on the block themselves, the
Yeah, it's bad.
you wouldn't hear from me again because I would have I can't say that on air on the pod. I genuinely like and I think I'm being irrational. Maybe I need to unpack this in therapy. I don't know why this makes me so viscerally mad. And I know we're gonna get the little fuckers and the listen to the rewinds and be like, stay mad. Whatever. I will. And I will stay mad. And I will stay mad. That shit's
I think it's a lack
crazy.
of respect. I think that if you're the HOH, the
But
least you
we'll
can
see
do
that come up later too.
is yeah,
Oh my
I think some
God.
people took it a little too far. However, I do think that at the base of it, it's a respect thing. Like if you're gonna win the power, the least you can do is tell the person and then put them up yourselves. You know, like I do
It's a
think
res
that like you should tell them
mm-mm.
yourself before throwing them on the block.
Oh, okay, wait. She did tell Dominique, but she didn't tell Dominique who was going up next to her.
Oh,
So
okay.
Mhm.
Dominique is like, "Oh, it's me and Megan," and then it's not Megan. She's like, "What the fuck? Why is it Matt? Are you sending me
Well, but
home?"
it's also just like just from a logistical standpoint, I don't get like I know who my nominations are and I'm not going to be online, so I'm just going to leave them for the host just in case I maybe change my mind, but I know her ass knew she was not coming back. I literally said it in host chat. I'm like, she's not coming back.
Like she
I will
leaves
be
for like
doing her
12 fucking
I will be
hours.
doing her nominations for her. So it's like, why not just do them then
Yeah.
and give people like do yourself a favor because yeah, it looks ridiculous that I'm doing your nominations. I'm sorry. It looks
It looks
bad.
horrible. And in a
It
game where people are already pissed off that it's getting pushed, the fact that you're just gonna log off for 12 hours and be like, hey, whatever, they can do it, is so and I just cannot believe
yeah.
that like it's just the disrespect. I think it's just the disrespect all around.
And again, like
Personally.
you're never beating the you're not online and you're not active allegations. Like literally you're HOH. So you're like the center of the house and you're not even here to make your
And
nominations.
you have
Like
the hosts make your
it
nominations
just
is
adds to
crazy.
a narrative about you that is like and the whole thing is like, I mean, I get the sense from Alex that she does want to be here. Like, I do think she
Hmm.
cares. And I think she has a fighting, I mean, I've said it, I think she has the indomitable human spirit. So it's like, it's not for a lack of care on her part, but it's like, if that is the case and you want a chance to win, like, this is not the way to improve your chances. Like, this
Hmm.
could have been a really good week for her to like make a big swing, make a name for herself, make a commitment to like really be online and really like figure out her relationships and like really like maybe turn her game around in terms of like win equity. And like I think for the most part, she just like doesn't do that. Like I don't think she ma- makes a bad move for herself, but I just don't think she like uses the opportunity. And I think that's true of a lot of players in this game of this season. Like there's been a lot of chances, I think, for people to have opportunities to like turn their games around. And I think the only two people who have really done it are Cameron and Raven. Like
Yeah.
Kevin had his chance,
And
like
Veronica to some
after,
extent.
yeah,
But
but
she
like
didn't really dip
Veronica,
that far, and she won HOH right after, so she didn't have
I was
much
gonna
to
say,
do.
yeah.
yeah.
And I would say like Veronica was different because Veronica was like doing super well and then chose to make a move that hurt her game, but like took that swing to like save an ally and then like fixed
That
it.
was more
I
Yeah,
damage
mean,
control than like
I mean
changing
more like
something.
those
yeah.
people who like were on the bottom of the bottom and then like had or because of activity or because of twists or whatever the fuck, and then like had this moment where it's like they had like a sign of life and you're like, ooh, like maybe they're gonna turn it around and like really change the game and pivot and like maneuver their way to a better spot. Cameron, I think, is like the great example of doing that the right way. I think Ravens kind of done it, but like Kevin had that moment after his punishment with the imprinting stuff. He had a bunch of momentum after that and like totally let that die. Like Matt had this moment where he was finally safe after being a block star for
Yeah.
like 4 or 5 weeks. And he could have used that week to like really use that safety to better himself. And he did nothing. Like he just logged out. Like in this, it's like it just feels like there's a lot of
I think
opportunities that have presented themselves and like people have just like failed to utilize them.
I do feel
This,
like Jillian has the potential to turn her game around still because
yeah.
I think that she's doing better socially than I think she's doing. And that,
Mhm.
like,
She's been a sleeper hit. She's
yeah, I think
been
she's been a
a
sleeper. I
sleeper
think if
hit.
she can win a comp, she can like because she's
Yeah.
looking at the right people right now. Like she has the right people in her sights as far as like who to take out and what swings to make. So I do think that she would make a big swing if she ever got power.
I
Yeah.
think also, Sydney, you just reminded me of this thing. Obviously, it's not really what happened, but like for all intents and purposes, Raven and Cameron were basically evicted as well. Like, obviously, it didn't actually happen, but Cameron had Cody not wanted to leave. Cameron would have been gone. Had the Hex not used, Raven would have been gone. So it's like they
Yeah.
quite literally were as close. And even Alex would have said, even with the battle back, those three were as close to evicted as you could get without actually being gone. Quite literally was gone for Alex. And it's just funny to see these three different paths of how you bounce back from the brink of death, or not literal death for Alex, and how these three different paths of how they've come back from that have changed. And I think, I don't know if it's this week or next week, but Jackson put Cameron at number one on one of these power rankings, or yeah, the Edge contenders. And I think it's
Hmm.
a very strong testament to saying how Cameron, and we're seeing in real time right now, not this next episode, we'll talk about Raven doing finally some big swings, making shit
Hmm.
happen. And even, and I did want to say like this thing about Alex now. I don't think it, we were talking about this. I don't think it was intentional disrespect. I do think she thought she might want to change her mind and just like left herself that room.
But
But
that's
obviously she
fine. But it's
didn't.
like you need to commit to coming back and
Yeah.
doing the nominations
Yeah.
yourself.
Yes.
Like, I'm
Yes.
sorry, like if you're so sure that it's really a possibility you might change your mind, then you need to be willing to come back and talk to
Agreed.
people to make that change and then do the nomination yourself. I could tell that she wasn't coming back.
Yeah.
And she so it's like she wants to have it always. Like she wants the possibility to come
Yeah.
back online and make a change, but she also doesn't want to like necessarily have to commit to a change. And it's just like I get the thinking, but
Yeah.
like her execution was just piss poor.
Yeah, but my point, it's like, there is disrespect there. I don't think it was intentional. Like Alex is going to piss these people
No, I
off,
don't
but
think she
No, I
was trying to
agree.
be
yeah,
I
disrespectful,
don't think
but
it was
that's
intentional, but
definitely how it
yeah,
comes.
but that's
Yeah.
just
yes.
definitely how it came off. But then the thing I want to talk about that really caused all the drama we're getting into now. Alex tells Dominique she's going up after at some, I don't know how she told someone, Megan. Oh yeah, she told Megan she was going up. Megan told Jason. Jason told Dominique, and then Alex tells Dominique that Dominique's going up, and Megan is now safe because Megan tells Jason she's fine now. So once again, it runs back to Dominique that Megan is safe. It's like, oh, Megan changed her mind. Now she's nominating me. Who am I going up against to? Because she thinks she's going up against Jillian or maybe Raven or still Megan. And then she finds out she's going up next to Matt. And she thinks being next to Matt is a death sentence. Because at this point, yes, next to Matt on the block has been a death sentence. But Alex is even saying, I want to get rid of Matt because no one else is going to go. No one else will leave next to him. You're probably the best case to survive against him. But Dominica, this one, is pissed off because Alex didn't tell her who she was going up next to. She told her she was going up and then like fucked offline, which again we've mentioned not great. And the thing that ticked Dominique off the most is Alex did not secure any votes for Dominique before nominating her. And Dominique feels that she's owed that because last week she rallied all the votes for Alex before nominating her. And again, it's kind of just like, yes, you did do that, but also you
No one
put her
owes you
in
that.
danger
No one owes you
to
that.
begin with.
I
Like
this is
Alex and I here, real Alex, Noah and I know this well because we did this song and dance in 15. It's like I
Yes.
don't care how many votes you secured to save me. You stabbed me. Don't give me a band-aid. Just don't
When
stab me to
Jinx
begin
was
with.
talking earlier about Dominique securing the votes, I was just like miming to the camera, like, I did that too.
And
I
I'm
did
just
that
like,
too.
it doesn't change it. Like I have never, and if I play or when you hear me and I pawn you, yeah, I don't, if I'm pawning you, I don't care if you leave.
genuinely.
I will never nominate some. If I had a glimmer of value in you, I'm not nominating. Obviously, I
Well,
can nominate someone
yeah.
and things change. Like you can be my enemy week 3 and we work together week 7. But like if I'm putting you up, if I'm putting you on the block, you leaving this week, is not an outcome that I hate. It's not going to be an outcome I
No, yeah.
love if I have a
I think
target, but
I think that's what it is like Dominique is just missing the cold hard fact that like when you nominate someone, you're telling them that you don't value them as much as you value everybody else.
yeah.
Like even if you're like, I like you, I want to work with you, blah, 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 like you are by nature the least valued because they're the most willing to sacrifice you
Unless they
if their
volunteer
target
as
doesn't
a
go.
pawn, someone
Yeah.
putting someone up is like a you might like we saw this in 14 with Hazel and Jeevan, where Jeevan got put up as a pawn by Hazel, who was not going to leave. Then the worst of worst things happened. He ended up leaving, and we're like, Hazel, why the fuck did you do that? You didn't want him to go at all,
Yeah.
and now he left. Like, you never pawn someone you have value in because worst
You
case
never pawn
happens,
someone you
they
wouldn't
go
be okay
home.
leaving.
If you,
Exactly.
it's
I
again
think
the
there's strategic reasons to do it, but I don't
and
know
it,
if
it
that would
also
happen here.
circles
So
back to the Matt Mark thing to me low key. Like you don't leave someone on the block if you want them to stay. Like it's this whole thing of like don't put someone or leave someone in danger if you have a value in them, unless
Yeah,
you
but
have value in
this
other
just
people. And if you have
speaking of
like yeah. So
speaking
I'm
of
getting on a
Matt
rant. I'm
Mark,
getting on a rant.
it's just a continuation of like this whole people being shocked that their actions have consequences, like in this season, whether or not those were good or bad choices at the time,
Yeah.
it was still an action they took,
yep.
and
Yes.
that led to something happening in response. And it's like Dominique put up Alex for as a pawn. And so Alex has now put up Dominique as a pawn, and we'll get to
Mhm.
it, and it will get to round two next week.
Because spoiler
But
alert, they
like,
trade HOHs
because
again.
this is a common thing that happens, and I'm just
I
this is the start of weeks that I has just made me pissed off IRL for about 7 days, I think. I can't explain it. I don't know why. But it has been oof. Yeah, it's been
And
going.
also at this point in real time, Dominic also has no chance of going home either. Everyone is ready to send Matt's ass packing. So she's almost crashing out for no reason. I understand why she's crashing out to an extent, but in reality, like, she was good. Even if
Yeah.
Alex wanted her to leave, she wasn't leaving. So
Well,
it's
and
kind
it's
of
just funny, like, I think again, and like not to punch down or whatever the fuck
beat a
we
dead
call
horse,
it.
whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like it's just funny how with Dominique, it's always like okay for me, but like not for thee or whatever,
If you
like
don't do
like
what
whatever it is.
Dominique wants in any given moment, you are dead to her and you are a
But it's
puppet.
also
I
it's
I
like
can't get
she
over. Oh, sorry. Go.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I can't get over the fact that there's been multiple times where she's either expected the nominee to not use the power of veto. She's genuinely asked the other nominee, or like thought about the possibility the other nominee using it on her. Like some of her
Today in real
expectations are
time,
completely unhinged.
in real time this week, Dominique was upset that Alex vetoed herself and was not a team player, and then today asked Jason to veto her instead of himself.
Crazy
So
work.
this is where
I'm
Well,
Dominique's
fucking
at.
obsessed with her.
but
I actually
no,
She's
like
I do
it's
understand her
delusional
like being
villainry at
upset
its
about
finest.
Alex not securing the votes. Like I probably wouldn't be the same, but I understand from her point of view. The veto shit is completely deranged and I can't get to where she's at.
but
I'm
it's also
obsessed with
like
it.
Dom makes all these like different comparisons during this week about like, well, I did this for Alex when I nominated her, and I did this for Alex when I nominated her, and she's not doing this for me. So the situations are completely different, and I deserve to be outraged. But Alex should never have been mad at me because even though I put her up, I was going to save her no matter what. But and I knew she wasn't going to leave, blah blah. And people are clocking Dom during this whole week, like
I
being
think her
like,
and Kevin have a fight about it too.
Yeah, they
I
do.
don't know. I don't think they like full fight about it. They kind of like quibble over it, but then Kevin's like more mad in DR because Kevin's
Mhm.
Dom
just like,
drops Kevin and Alex to the bottom of her dresser.
yeah, because Kevin's like, what is this outrage? Like, you nominated her. And yeah, maybe the treatment is a little bit different, but it's like at the end of the day, you put her in danger and she's putting you in danger. It's in a lot of ways an equivalent situation. But again, it's like it's okay for her to nominate someone who she doesn't value that much. It's not okay for anyone to do that to her back. Like she can put people in danger all she wants, but the minute people reciprocate that treatment, it's like, well, what I did was good and what you're doing is bad. And it's like, I think there's definitely a villain arc that Dominique has been accumulating over the last few weeks,
Mhm.
simply
Mhm.
from like the living in
Delusion.
I'm trying to be kind. Delulu land, like just like not living in reality and always being like to Dominique, like for the most part, like Dominique is always the victim and everyone else is always the problem. And it's like sometimes it's true. Like Dominique has done plenty of things that were totally fine and no one was harmed or it was the right move or it was the right strategy. But it's also like you don't just get to do whatever you want and
Mark, you
never
put
face
me in danger by
consequences for
using
that.
the veto on Matt. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like, girl, like you were not ever going up under, but like, let's not
Also,
get into it again.
Dominique and Alex do not like Dominique has leaps and bounds more social capital to guarantee a vote before doing noms that Alex does not have. So it's
That's
also
true.
like, what are you expecting Alex to do here?
I'd be curious what Alex trying to run an HOH like the Navy would look like.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly,
what would that even look like?
It would have been strange, honestly. It would have been weird.
that would
Would have
have.
been an about face.
I almost feel like
100%.
that would have soured people on Alex more than what actually happened, almost because it's like, what are you're expecting X, Y, and Z from me? You don't talk like
Yeah.
that's what people would be saying
No, yeah, this is just a discussion I wanted to have this week, because it sets up
next week
whatever
very
discussion
well.
we're gonna have
Yeah.
next week.
At this point
But
next week, we don't know who's go. We have a guess. We veto hasn't happened yet. We don't know who's fully leaving at
mhm.
this point, so we're still less lost than you
Yeah,
guys are.
well, I mean, we will still be discussing
Yes.
that
There's
idea
plenty
of
to
people
discuss of
being
the Big
mad
Brother
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
about being renommed like eye for an eye wise. Well, we will get to that next week as well.
There's a lot to
Yes.
chew on next episode, I
But
feel like.
Yeah.
yeah, let's circle
But
back to
I
this veto
This one.
competition.
yeah, I just wanted to bring that in for a second because I was like, we are not gonna sweep
Yeah.
the
One thing that's also worth
circumstances.
highlighting before we kind of move on to the comp is that Dominique is convinced that it wasn't just Megan talking herself off the block. She's convinced that Megan also talked Dominique onto the block.
Hmm.
And I think
Hmm.
that
Oh
that
yeah, at this point, Megan is
Yes.
is a
now finally
major
aware
topic
that
for her.
Dom is an op after like 9 weeks of not
Yes.
knowing
Yeah,
this shit.
oh yeah, we can't really skip over that. Like this is literally the week where the proxy slash Cold War finally blows
This
up
becomes to a war.
because Megan gets herself off the block, Dom goes on the block. Dom, both through can kind of distorting or misunderstanding parts of her conversation with Alex, but also making a lot of assumptions,
Yeah.
assumes that by saving herself, Megan also threw Dom under the bus and was like, nominate Dominique instead of me, which is not what happened. I mean, I don't think Megan was gonna like fight against it as long as she was safe, but it wasn't Megan's like idea to get not to like throw Dom under the bus. But after she saves herself and Dom goes up, Dom is like talking mad shit about Megan. Like she's pissed because she's like, Megan threw me under the bus, even though that like didn't happen. So then Megan starts hearing from like Alex and other people that Dom is throwing Megan under the bus. And then it all just kind of unravels that now Megan is getting information and realizing that Dom like does not have her best interest at heart and like
Mhm.
isn't like actually like the ally that she thought Dominique was. So now finally after all this time, Megan is finally aware that Dominique has been plotting on her downfall. But like low key, it's like a little bit too late. But like we'll
Yeah.
get into that next week.
And
But anyway,
I want to, there's one more thing, big swing gate, but we'll get to that after the veto because it kind of peaks after the veto as well. But yes, this veto competition, I called it 50 Shades of Blood. It was Color Punch, but evil Color Punch that I borrowed from City Viber, City VP. Shout out Jaden Ace Haiku for this. It's basically Color Punch is like you get a set of an odd number of colors, and then you will get an image, a smaller image that shows you six. If you get 7 colors, you get 6 of them. And in the image, 3 of them will be the color in a box, and then the words will be different. And you have to figure out what's the missing color. And Evil Colored Punch does this where they're all different shades of red. So it makes it a lot harder on your eyes to figure out which
mhm.
color is missing and
I
whatnot.
think it was vile.
And I am proud of it. I saw them do this and I was like, oh, that'd be fun. And then the opportunity came to use it. It was easy to make. I'm like, yeah, this might become a staple. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, it comes
Color Punch, I
out.
think, is fun. The like shades of red Color Punch is deranged.
And
That
next year
was
it'll be shades of blue or something. Who knows? We'll figure it out when we get there.
literally sending Dominique to the eye doctor as she
Yeah,
realized
Oh
that she
Dominique.
might
Jesus.
be a little bit colorblind. Like,
Yeah, but yeah, it's time based, penalty based, so on and so forth. Matt, Jason, and Kevin all come out with no penalties, but Matt goes slow as shit. Jason goes kind of slow as shit. And Kevin, with 7 minutes, 57 seconds, comes out and wins his second comp of the season with his first veto win. So claps for Kevin. And now we can get into what I've been
No
calling
one clapped.
shut up, big
Give him
swing
a
gate.
snap.
We
Big,
I
snapped. We
eventually
snapped. We
clapped.
gave snaps.
big swing gate here because another issue at hand was somewhere down the, I don't even know fully how this started. Somewhere along the line, someone mentioned the word big swing to Jillian, and Jillian took that to Dom and was like, Alex wants to make a big swing this week. She's gonna send you home. Da, 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 da. And that's not at all what was happening. But that's what's setting Dominic off even more because she does not believe that she's not Alex's target here. And they're like, who's causing all this drama? This is misinformation because Dominic's running this shit to Cameron. Cameron's running it back to Alex and Kevin. There's a weird game of telephone going on here. And everyone's just like, who's lying? But Alex is like, I did not say this, or I said it to one person. Or so then eventually they pinpointed to Jillian. At this point, Kevin and Cameron are not happy that Dom's on the block because they still have an alliance and they thought value. So Kevin very briefly thought about like vetoing Dom, or even vetoing Matt almost. He thought about using either thought about using it on either of them to have Jillian get forced out, but he decided to just not use it to not piss off Alex. So Jillian truly gets spared by the fact that Kevin respected Alex's wishes because but at this point now Alex is pissed off at Jillian and everyone's like literally so confused by what's happening. And there's a point where even after this happens, Jillian's like, fuck Alex, I'm gonna ruin her big swing and try to save Dom. But Dom was never the target to begin with. Alex wanted Matt to go the whole time, so I don't understand. But
It was
yeah,
just a fucking clusterfuck.
I
Like
truly
Yeah,
wish I could
always.
tell you how this all happened. I gave you the best explanation I think anyone's going to give because I don't even understand how it's happened still to this
Yeah.
day.
yeah. It was
And a
just
reminder
Jillian
that
being
we
the
can see
chaos.
all DMs, we can see everything. And
I do
Well,
not know
part
how this
I
started,
I
and
think I think part of the problem with this week and also just like Jason and Dominique as a pairing and like their inability to hide anything about it is like they go and they talk like quite a bit every day. Like they're definitely the most active DMs out of
Mhm.
anyone and have been for a long time. So they're just like constantly trading information. And there's also so much overlap in their alliances that they just tell each other kind of everything for the most part and they immediately just forget what they already knew themselves and what was told to them through the other one and also who told that person this thing that Jason or Dominique learned and then told the other one. So they just start like completely crossing wires. So like Jason will go to like Jillian and say something that Dominique told him that Dominique heard from like Veronica. So there's been like, and but Jason doesn't even remember. He like low key just thinks Veronica told him, or like, and this happens all the time. So I think that was part of it this week is like Jason and Dom are just like throwing info back and forth. And then they're going out and talking to people like it's all their own information, but like they learned it from the other person. There's no way they should even know that information. But so they're just like constantly just like crossing
I'm
wires.
if
shocked
they're confused, so are we.
at how open
Yeah.
their duo is and how little people are clocking it. Like they
So little.
at least try to disguise it. Like it's hard work to try to keep shit straight and try to remember like who remembers what. So like do it. Put
Before
in
we
like finish
forget
the work.
this, on that topic as well, there was a brief, we can't pass this. There was a brief moment where Alex said, you know what? If there's a renom, it's going to be Jason. Because I
Yes.
had a
This
dream.
is
I had a dream
so
of
fucking
Jason. I had a
funny.
dream of Aquaman, and his name is Jason Momoa. And he's been beating me up in Marvel Rivals. I'm like, girl, he's a DC character. You mean Namor? And she's like, oh, I guess. And she's like, there was a very, very brief chance that the duo of the season was gonna get clocked by a dream about Aquaman.
And I
And
think
Yeah,
that's
Alex is like, you
powerful.
know what? No, I can't nominate anyone for Dream. That'd be dumb. But just
And
well,
us
and
and
this is
Svetlana's
just
just like, holy fuck, you don't know the move that you just talked yourself out of. Like,
like
yeah.
literally.
And this just goes to show though, like whenever you're doing duo shenanigans or whenever you're like trying to cover bases, like you have to have a wider net.
mhm.
Like whenever you're gonna duo it out, like you need to be aligned. It's helpful to be aligned with not the same people
Yeah.
because then you get a wider net of information versus when you're just sitting in the same circles, you're just kind of spinning your wheels.
Me and
Um,
Julia,
Again in 15, I was
season
bringing
7.
Alex half the information from Allie's side of the house half the fucking time. Like, hey, they're doing
Yep.
this. Like,
Yep.
I mean,
100%.
I was literally the reason why, well, not the reason. I'm sure Cole would have probably gotten his way out of trouble anyway, but like I was literally in his ear telling him every time Elizabeth tried to kill him, which was like every week.
Jeep
So
is gonna
like
love hearing this in the fucking spec lounge.
and
Hmm.
like and I later I was Cole in his yard be like, I'm so glad that I have Lori because like Elizabeth, I would usually be worried about her, but she's kind of just like an annoying like little mosquito that like I don't really need to kill, but I'm just accepting is like in my periphery. Because every time she even tried to kill Cole, I was like, I don't think we should do that. Actually, I don't think it's time to do that. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's important, and I think the best duos in BB Rewinds, but also just like in like a conceptual sense, or the kind that like know they have different strengths, they appeal to different parts of the house. They're able to
Hmm.
essentially get all the information, but stay hidden. Like no one
Yep.
knows or clocks that they're a duo. Like, and those are the duos that have always been the most successful in BB Rewinds. And I think it says a lot about this season and the dynamics and social like power structures of this particular season that people have not clocked onto Jason and Dom, even though they've been incredibly non-subtle. And I honestly, I was thinking this today, and I'll bring it up now. Like, just like looking at the social dynamic of the house, like not to, it's not really a spoiler, really, but Veronica went to Alex like recently, like today or yesterday, and was like, "Hey, girl, was just wanting to maybe lock in a final two with you. I've been really wanting to talk about this with
Yeah,
you for like three
this
weeks."
morning.
Which she has every day. Every day, Veronica's like, "Hey, Alex, I need to talk to you." Dot dot dot, and they like don't talk because like their schedules are just totally, and neither of them are online that much. And I was just thinking like, wow, we're in like the final nine or eight now. We're in final eight now. And we're in jury phase. Like we're reaching very like end game of the season, and it's like people still haven't locked in a final two, not because like their relationship has changed, it's because they've been like so inactive and haven't talked enough that
Hmm.
like they literally have not had the chance to make a final two until now. And it's like I just think like because so many of these bonds are so surface level still because there's just not enough content and not enough interaction on a day-to-day basis to make these relationships like super super meaningful for the most part. Like all it takes is a little slight or a little issue or like a stupid reason to be enough to pry people away from each other and have them turn their backs on each other. And also because they're not that close or because their bonds aren't that deep and they haven't like really understood each other in a meaningful way, like they're not clocking onto like important information like all the times that Dom and Jason have like totally revealed themselves to like everybody essentially. They people just aren't picking up onto it because like they're not taking the time to do it. They're not understanding the house dynamics. Like they're not taking notes on, they're not like listening to the information and then cross-referencing with information later. Like it's just like a weird, it's just been such an interesting and like different season socially than I've seen in a really long time at BBR. It's hard to pinpoint sometimes, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
anyway, I digress.
100%. 100%.
but
This is
yeah,
why they should use their diary rooms more, because if they use their
yeah.
diary rooms and then read back what they wrote weeks ago, it's easier to
I
clock.
was thinking about prompting like maybe I do 2 rounds of Kadabra a week instead of just some final noms, but they won't fucking answer it anyway. So what's
I
the
was gonna
bother?
say,
It's
I
yeah,
think
they
that it's
won't.
powerful that you're still thinking that Alex will answer Kadabra's question.
I was like,
She
also, yeah.
hey, she's doing her chess rankings now. Finally, took a while to get, but yeah, at this point. Kevin throws the noms away, throws Vito away, at least noms the same, to respect Alka's HOH. And we get a brief glimmer of Jillian like trying to flip the vote to save Dom, even though Dom was never leaving anyways. And then apparently this week it's come up that they thought about targeting Dom, which I did not notice, but like they briefly thought about sending Dom home because they were like winning against the chance again.
Who
But
is
they
they
all
for that?
I believe Jillian and Raven talked, and maybe Veronica talked about it at some point. I don't, maybe I'm not positive, but they're talking about how they didn't do it before. So I'm like, okay, maybe they did talk about this, and I haven't seen it.
Well,
But yeah,
they were debating they were getting on to Dom like last week into this week. If I say getting on, I mean like
yeah,
getting to clock Dom
yeah,
as like a potential threat. I don't know if they were ever really truly gonna be flipping the vote. I mean, this is also the week, like you said, where Jillian gets messy, and that kind
yeah,
of informs how people are gonna play
Yeah, some
We're
people are
seeing
like,
that.
okay, can't trust Jillian with the information now. So it's like
Yeah, we'll
Raven's
see
like
that in the
that.
next two
Yeah,
cycles next week of like them being like, oh, we need to be careful how we talk to Jillian about this.
yeah,
'Cause she will just like mess it up everywhere all the way.
yeah.
So you have to be
But
they have to be
yeah,
careful
there's a
with
brief and another one of like Megan at this point comes on and is like now knows Dom wants to kill her and has had a great relationship with Matt the entire time. But at this point also Matt he doesn't say this publicly, thank Christ, but he's like ready to go. He tells Dominique to her face, I want you to stay, which is a crazy thing. Dominique, I'm shocked she didn't run it to anyone else. I think she might have told
Mhm.
Jason, but that's something you like, you go and fucking ceremony. It's like, yo, he told me he wants me to stay, so
Mhm.
just
I
go.
appreciate that she didn't, and I am
Yeah,
grateful to Dominique
yeah,
for not doing that to us
yeah.
and having our like
Eighth.
fifth, you know.
Eighth soft.
Fifth official soft walk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
Jesus.
what does shock me is I'm shocked Megan didn't even try to like throw a vote at
Megan was
Dom and
Megan
save
was still
Matt.
pretty AWOL. Like Megan literally was online when Alex got revealed as HOH, talked to Alex, saved herself, and then again because of a lot of life reasons, like she kind of just fucked off for the rest of the week. It was not really active at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
think I don't know if it's this week or the next vote, but one of these votes, Raven, the vote was gonna. I think it was like that. Raven was gonna. The vote would have ended earlier, but Raven did not wake up till like 7 p.m.
Mm-mm.
yep.
So it might have been this week or it was next week, but it's one of those 2 weeks that this happened, and then it might have been like I remember Megan. Yeah, it was like because Megan was the last to vote and was like coming like, well, what are we gonna do? And then it was like, girl, Matt's leaving. Just pack it up and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Just back it
Yep.
up.
Just pack it up. So yeah, Matt goes home. Shout out Logan. He's got a new real life thing that's going great for him, so he can't even play well much anyway. So good for him.
Hmm.
So yeah, we
Hmm.
have our first jurors, Ramses and Matt. Shout out Harry and Logan. Love you guys. Thank you for playing.
Love.
And
Yes.
yeah,
Really.
we're out of the fast forward. We're heading into another round of twists with this fuck ass tree of temptation because Grodner can't leave well enough alone in a fucking season
Mm-mm-mm.
of Big Brother. Like
Maybe
my
she
God,
also had comps that she needed to use. Okay. Just remember that.
none of these were cops. It was a fucking tree in the fucking living room.
I will say the last thing is Matt he gets evicted.
Oh yeah, it's fucking final
And
words.
his give up and so he has his goodbye message because he was online so he could do it himself. He goes, ahem, counting or not counting gang violence, which got 20 crying emoji faces on it. So
Because if you know, I'm not saying it. This is going deep. I'm not saying it, but if you know what this means.
if you know, you know. You know,
Yeah,
you know. So that was
Lord.
really funny. Respected that.
Yeah. Well,
And yeah.
we lost our career in politics now. That's what we're still laughing about that. Whoopsie.
Yeah, genuinely.
Oh well,
It's all over for us.
that's
Well,
life.
on
And
that note, does anybody else have anything to add?
I continue to endorse Cameron for AFP.
Freak vibes.
I'll
Okay.
say it here. I said it earlier. I mean, I don't think it's locked in stone, right?
Set in
That's not
stone.
the correct. There we go. There we go. Set in stone. I definitely could change my mind. There's a lot of season left to play still, but I'm kind of feeling, personally speaking, as a virgin and whistle nutter, I'm feeling like hero Cameron, villain Dom, AFP Veronica, player of the season Jason.
But
That's
if
kind of
Jason
where
and
I've been
Veronica
leaning.
win, we should spread the wealth and give it to
I mean, yeah,
Cameron.
that's what I'm saying. And there's a lot of game left to play, and like I'm still open. But and
Hmm.
I mean, like I
Hmm.
said, I have accepted Cameron into my heart. Like I'm not a Cameron stan because I'm a virgin and Wilson Nutter first and foremost. But I do think Cam has been.
God intended.
I think Cam has
Jester.
been great. I think Cam has been great, and I really enjoy him. And I think he is doing all the right things and having all the right thoughts and he's going forward with a good strategy and I do think he set up well in the game and
And
I
bro is holding
think
on to
it's
that ring of replacement like it's his fucking life.
he
Like
no he is he hasn't needed he genuinely hasn't
he's
needed
gotten
it
picked a lot
so
of times too. House goes towards
no
Yeah,
fans,
yeah
all like
100%.
like he's really not needed it and I think that also speaks to how well he's been doing so it's like I really enjoy Cam but in terms of like overall enjoying their presence the entire season I definitely have enjoyed Jason and Veronica more consistently. So that's probably where I'm just still not really feeling camp for AFP, but I'm open.
We
But
were talking about it earlier, like DVD cover wise. We have four spots I'd say locked, and it's Raven, not Raven. It's Veronica, Cameron, Dominique, and Jason. And honestly, Raven's probably the fifth spot, and then we'll figure
I
out
think Raven's probably the fifth
who's gonna
spot.
get number
Yeah.
six as we keep going. But that's
Hmm.
probably, I think that's the general consensus on the host chat where the DVD cover is looking right now.
I think Christmas should be on the cover because
Oh my
really
God.
that friendship bracelet just formed like just really formed the season and
Swan is the only pre-jury to make the DVD cover, and if I take that away from him, he might kill me. So I don't think I can do
That's his
that.
claim to fame in the BBR universe.
I don't know if we
can't
could
take that
ever
away
make
from
the
him.
first boot that on the DVD cover.
Honestly.
I mean, I think Christmas is the first boot in BB Rewind's history that has had the most lasting impact on the
Oh
game,
yeah,
Yeah.
like by
for
far.
sure.
I mean, we've been oh,
Absolutely.
actually, Zendaya. We have talked about Zendaya got Jeevan evicted in Final Five.
That's fair. That is true.
But we were saying today, like low key, Alex might be snatching Christmas's Pikmin award at this rate. Like, I don't. We'll see what happens. Honestly.
You
Yeah.
cannot. Someone. I'm doing it again. Classes are off again.
Graham is rubbing his
Someone
face right
that
now.
wins two HOHs and like however many fucking POVs, like they cannot be no, no, Anyway, goodbye. Everyone have a great
That's the
evening.
end of the episode.
Everyone have a great fucking evening.
Everybody.